Hello children, welcome to geography class. Today we are going to learn about impact of humans on the environment. So up till now we have learned what is environment and why is environment important for us and components of environment, and we learned about the domains of the environment, and yesterday we learned about ecosystem, and today we are going to learn about the impact of humans on the environment. So here the human activity over the last few decades has caused severe environmental problems. Some of these issues include, so what are they? Mainly pollution, global warming and climate condition, and deforestation. So mainly these three are happened in the few decades by the humans. So you all know decade means 10 years make 1 decades. Okay. So yeah, what do you mean by pollution? The main pollution which which humans are causing nowadays is of, the main two things are of water pollution and air pollution. So yeah, these are the two serious problems which are caused by humans nowadays. So for example, how we are making the water to pollute. So by using lots of plastic items like bottles, the plastic covers, and which cannot absorb by water, like the thing we are using as a mobile, the parts. So not only these parts, the electronic parts, electronic appliances. So in such parts they are using lots of plastics over there, isn't it? So while we throw it out, so what will happen? So when that it cannot submerge easily by the water or by land or by air, isn't it? So it causes lot of damage for the environment. So the main thing is of water pollution is of by releasing the wastewater from the factories and by throwing the garbage in the water, like water surface, like seas, oceans, lakes, everywhere, isn't it? It also causes a great damage to the environment. For the things, the so many organisms which lives in under the sea, it may choke because of the plastic which was floating on the sea water, so that when it takes as a food, it may die. So the whole environment got damage over there because of the humans. So what is the remedies we need to take it out to not to cause this water and air pollution? By reusing the things, as we saw in 6th standard. So we need to reuse the things instead of buying the new materials, right? For example, here we learned by using lots of electronic appliances, we use so many plastic through it, right? So when we reuse the thing, when we repair that, for example, when the mobile got repair, means you can give it for the repair so that you can reuse it. So instead of that, what we are doing, we are buying new things, same like that. So when we do like this, as humans, we are polluting our environment. So here waste from industries and homes is dumped into sea, into rivers, lakes and oceans, making the water unsafe for humans and other animals. So as I said, when it was thrown in the water, we know so many water animals are living in the water, so that when it eat that kind of plastics, what will happen? It will choke, and what will happen? You cannot see such kind of water animals in the water, isn't it? And vehicles and smoke from factories release harmful gases into the air. So we all know, in each and every home, for example, in one home we have 4 to 5 vehicles to use, isn't it? Why we need that? For example, instead, for a short distance, your parents or you can use a bicycle, isn't it? So that it may cause the petrol, it may reduce the petrol cost as well as the air pollution, isn't it? Yes. So here we should think, as humans, we should think how to protect our environment and how to protect from pollution. So we people are going to affect by that, isn't it? Yes. So vehicles and smokes from factories which release the harmful gases in the air. So when we breathe into it, so we will breathe the harmful gases. So we will be affected by so many so many diseases like couldn't breathe, and the lungs may shrink. So these are the causes we may face into it, isn't it? So and we'll be getting out of health, so many health issues. So as humans, we are the one to protect our environment from the water and air pollution. Not only from this, for each and every pollution, we know other pollution too, isn't it? So the next thing from which we are from the impact of humans on the environment is of the global warming and climatic conditions. So here in the global warming, so what do you mean by global warming? You all know that the temperature level which has been raised, so that we got a hole in the ozone layer, so that the sun directly affecting us nowadays, isn't it? So yeah, the rise in the global temperatures, what happens because of the several activities, we have to undergo so many problems, such as the climatic condition may change, and it gives us so many disasters like storm, drought. What do you mean by drought? Drought means a dry land without water. So the people around the place, which were example Rajasthan and all, there is a lack of water, isn't it? They couldn't get the water, and there was a lot of water shortages, isn't it? So these kinds of climatic conditions, the climatic things may be changed, and it may affect the people who are living at that particular place. So here, the global warming, the rise in the levels of certain harmful gases in the environment has caused the earth to overheat, as I told you. So this caused by the overheat. This heating has caused a change in the earth's climate, so that we doesn't know when we get rain, and when we get this hot summer. So we doesn't know the climatic changes, the climatic condition has been going on changing because of the global warming. So here, this heating has caused a change in the Earth's climate and is leading to several problems like extreme weather, changes in rainfall, and rising in the sea level. So these are the things, these are the changes we are facing now due to this global warming. And the next, the main thing is of deforestation. Now, what is the thing of deforestation? We all know that we are cutting trees for our purposes, isn't it? For making cupboards, for making sofa, for making cot, isn't it? So is this very important? While we cut the tree, it's not a very good thing for us, isn't it? So here humans are cutting trees at higher rates than ever before. Such deforestation has led to lesser rainfall, loss of habitat for animals, like for animals. As humans, we need fresh air, water, land, everything to survive, isn't it? So same like that, the animals, they too need fresh air, food, everything. So if the deforestation was happened in that particular place, what the animals will do? It has to change the place. So they doesn't know how to cope up there, isn't it? So they are all animals, they are all not humans. So here, so when this deforestation have been done, what will happen? The rainfall will be very less, and the habitat of there'll be a great loss of habitat in animals, and there'll be higher temperatures, like we couldn't face the heat of sun, right? So these are the damages we'll get. So animals are becoming extinct because their ecosystems are breaking down. So extinct means what? We couldn't find animals over there, isn't it? So up till this, we learnt about the impact of humans on the environment by causing pollution, global warming and climate condition, climatic change, and deforestation. So with this, we are going to finish the chapter. So before that, we'll just recap this unit. Now kindly tell me, what is environment? So you all have learnt about it. So an environment is everything that is around us, isn't it? So which includes both living and non-living things such as soil, water, animals, and plants over there. So which adapt themselves to their surrounding. So here, it's a nature gift, helps in nourishing life on the earth. And we learnt about the components of environment. What are there? What are the components of environment we learnt? So there are three components. One is natural, and another one is man-made, and another one is human-made, isn't it? So first one, the natural thing is of the natural which are which are created by nature is known as natural thing, right? That is of the natural surroundings. For example, air, water, land, living things. These are all created by nature, not by the humans. So this is one thing. And another one thing is of man-made, and man-made thing, that is of, it includes all things which are made by human beings. For example, buildings, parks, bridges, roads, monuments, industries, the things which we use like book, paper, pencil, everything are made by man-made. So we learnt about the natural components of environment, and we learnt about the man-made components of environment. The next thing we learnt about the human. So here it includes all the human related values and beliefs, like some person will be living individual, and some person will be living as a family. In the family itself, they'll be living with a joint family, nuclear family, like that, right? And there will be several community. They divide themselves like religion, and the education level, like some may have educated more and some may have educated less. Then the political situation. So there are so many political parties over there, and economic scenarios, like some people will be very poor and some people will be very rich. So certain areas have been improved and certain areas didn't improve up till that. So these are the human related values and beliefs. So here, what are the three components of environment? That of natural, man-made, and humans, isn't it? Then we learnt about the biotic and abiotic. So here, what do you mean by biotic? The world of living organisms, or all the living things. For example, plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, and people. So these are the biotic thing. And what does mean by abiotic is of the world of non-living elements. For example, rocks, water, air, sunlight, wind, land, and soil. So this is known as biotic and abiotic. Then we learnt about the natural environment, that the land, water, air, plants, and animals make it together as a natural environment. So as humans and animals and plants, each and everything needs the nature, so that we need the domains of the environment. So we learnt about 4 domains of the environment. What are they? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. So these are the 4 domains of the environment we learnt about it, isn't it? So first let us learn about the lithosphere. So your lithosphere, you all know, the solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth. So I gave you so many examples, like, so here we have in this earth we have like so many plateaus, plains, mountains, like this, isn't it? So here it's a hard top layer of the earth, and it is made up of rocks, minerals, and it was covered by a thin layer of soil, isn't it? So here we learnt about lithosphere. And now tell me, why is lithosphere very important? Because it gives us food, shelter, and for example, food, water, and land to survive in this earth. So it is very important for humans as well as for the plants and animals. So the next thing we are going to learn about hydrosphere. So here the waters on the earth's surface, such as lakes, seas, oceans, rivers, etc. So we learned hydro means it's a water, right? So here the half of the earth was surrounded, the whole earth was surrounded by the water. We all know that, right? So this is the second domain of the environment. And the third one is of atmosphere. So here it is a thin layer of air that surrounds the earth. So it consists of a number of gases, dust, and water vapor. So any change in the atmosphere produces change in the weather and climate. So we know that atmosphere is a thinner layer of the air. So here, because of the gravitational force, the earth has been floating over there around the atmosphere, right? So here it was consist by gas and dust and lots of water vapor over there. So here there will be the change of climatic condition over this domain. The next one is of biosphere. So biosphere is not nothing but the land water and air together makes the biosphere, isn't it? So all the living organisms need the biosphere. For example, the plant, animals, water, earth and human life makes the biosphere, also known as the living world. So it's like a thing like plants, animals, earth, humans all need these three things: land, water, air. So these all together make the biosphere, isn't it? So here you can see lithosphere is here and hydrosphere, and biosphere is three parts, or it mixed together: lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. These three things join together and make it as a biosphere. So as we learned, these are the domains of the environment, and we learned about ecosystem. So what do you mean by ecosystem? We all know that. Yesterday we saw that. That is of an ecosystem is a chain system, isn't it? For example, the plant gets the food from the sunlight as the photosynthesis, and it is the producer for a rabbit, so that the grass eating animal, the rabbit, which takes the plant, and the fox which eats the rabbit, and it goes on like the chain, isn't it? So in the above ecosystem picture, so here you can see the plant produces food using sunlight, water, air and the soil. So here the rabbit eats a plant and it continues, isn't it? So it goes on, and at last when the animal dies or what happened, it becomes the fertile for the soil. So therefore we can see that the biotic components and the abiotic components are working together for our survival, isn't it? So these are the things we learned in this lesson about environment. And why is environment very important? Because it gives food, shelter and land, water, everything to survive in this earth, isn't it? So, and then we learnt about the components of the environment, domains of the environment, and here we learnt about ecosystem and the impact of humans on the environments. So within this we are going to finish this chapter. So I'll be posting the question answers in the Google Classroom. Kindly take it in the classwork side. So write all the question answers which is given in the classroom, Google Classroom, and kindly copy that in that. Just don't copy it, just learn and copy it, so that you may have a test on Wednesday. So I'll post it in the group. Thank you, dear children.